is on the table for a new DIY inspiration. Of course, what we're going to use for this DIY is we're going to use the tumbling tower blocks, the smaller blocks, of course. Like I always say, everyone knows it already for a long time. Make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages tumbling tower blocks laying around, so you always have enough for each DIY, because most of the time I don't know how many blocks I use. I just go it and we see along the way how much we use. Of course, I have here my container with everything inside what I need for DIYing. Of course, the most important is of course my wood glue, and it is from the brand Patex. It's a very cheap brand, so just use whatever you have laying around. Of course, you also can use some hot glue, maybe hot glue with some wood glue inside. And I have here some paint. This is just an example, just use some paint at your choice. I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue, and the kitchen towel is wet. Of course, these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, I'm going to try to make a nativity scene, but again with another twist on it, so we will see how this will turn out. And you see already on the table is the first step we're going to do. We're going to make the bottom, and I'm going to use it again, not too big. You can make it as wide as you like, but I would do it also that you can easily place it somewhere in your decor, so it will not be too big. So I have 2 rows of 14, so 2 rows of 14 blocks, and we're going to lay them flat on the table, and we make a nice row out of it. So we do on the longest side of the blocks, we do some glue, so this way. And also with this DIY, be careful if you use the hot glue, because especially with the poles we're going to use, it is tricky that it doesn't fall apart, because the roof will be a little bit heavy. So always be careful with the hot glue. But of course, if you don't have something else than the hot glue, it's totally fine. Only be careful, because I don't want you to be disappointed if it breaks apart, because that's not where you make your DIY for. I love always a nativity scene in my decor for the Christmas season. And of course, it's not everyone's decor idea, but I always love it. And maybe even when you don't like the decor, the nativity scene, maybe you like this one. And because this is a very easy, simple nativity scene, so I hope maybe you like this one also. And of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue. And always when you wipe away the glue, go back. If you don't have a carpenter square, go back and make sure that you have a nice straight line. And again, give it a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes. I'm placing carefully one on the side. And of course, it still can break if you use your wood glue, because wood glue only dries after a couple of hours. And especially if you use it, let it stay overnight. I always do with my DIYs, I make them, but if I want to use them, I always make sure that they stay overnight before I'm going to really decorate with it. And fill in the open gaps with squeezing on the side. So very careful, just do it this way, and you can easily fill in the open gaps. This is already the bottom of our nativity scene, so I'm going to lay this aside and we go further with the roof. So for the first part of the roof, we are going to start with 1 of 14, 1 of 13 and 1 of 12. So you count down 14, 13, 12. And we do here the same. We place them flat on the table, and we're going to make sure that we row them nicely together. Do some glue on the smallest line of the block, like this, and then you do, and this roof will be a little bit different than you probably normally will see. So I always try to make it a little different than you will find somewhere else, but it's everyone's cup of tea. Do you want to have more ideas? Always go over to Pinterest, Google. There you find so many beautiful creators, and even on YouTube. So go ahead, check them out, because they all make beautiful things. So everyone makes their own taste. And what I do is I just do something. I don't have a profession this way, because I was a nurse, but now I'm doing this. So it's not everyone's profession when they are on YouTube or something else. So this is just for me a hobby to do. So the last row of 12, and then we're going to squeeze them together this way. And we're going to squeeze, especially don't forget to squeeze on the outside. If you have everything placed together, and it is, you can do the side push, because that's the greatest. If you push it on the side, then your blocks really stay nicely together. So again, always be careful when it doesn't, sometimes it pops out, but it doesn't matter. Just glue them in again and you are ready to go again. So I'm going to wipe away the glue and we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and now I'm going to do some glue over here and a little over here and here. And now I'm going to place this one on top of here, and he's sticking out on each side a little bit. So give it some pressure and make sure that you have on each side the same measurement. Of course, we do here the same. We do some glue in the middle and to almost to the end, but not totally, over here. And now we're going to carefully place this one on top, so we get on the sides kind of a little stair. And this is one start of my roof. And I'm going to give this a couple of minutes drying, and then I'm going to place it on the side and then press it on the side to make sure that also the sides have a nice straight line. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get 5 blocks. I'm going to get 4 blocks. I'm going to get 3 blocks. I'm going to get 2. And later we're going to use 1. So we do 5. This is, oh, you see already here is sticking on my hands. This way. And I'm going to fill it in. And number 4. And number 3. And number 2. And now we're going to squeeze it in. And especially again from the sides, squeeze it in from the sides. We do here the same, and here also. And we're going to wipe away the glue. So first, before we're going to glue this together, we place this part and we place it on the side, and we carefully do with our fingers this way, so the front is also not looking nice, because that's the part where you're looking at. So you just place it down, press it down, and then we're going to place it back again. So, and then the sides is also a nice side to see. So again, we do here some glue, and almost to the end, not totally, some glue. We place now number 4 on top of here, and again give it some pressure. We do the same, some glue on the side also here, and we place number 3 on top. And we do in this middle the same, and we place number 2, and here only some glue in the middle, and this will be number 1. And you get a nice kind of a tower, and we're going to give it some pressure over here. And if the glue is sticking out, just get a small brush like this, and you just go to the side. You get your towel, make it a little wet, and you go over it and you wipe away the glue you don't need. Place this also on the side and make sure, squeeze it, press it together this way. And you have a nice little, kind of, it looks like a little like a house. And we're going to give this also some time to dry. I think maybe 5 until 10 minutes is enough. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this carefully on this top of under, how we call it ondersteboven. I don't know how you call it in English, at least upside down, at least that's what I mean. And I'm going to place this one in the middle of the piece of 12. This is 12 blocks, and then in the middle 12 is the half is 6, and place this one in the middle over here. And we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour until 45 minutes. So now we're going to do, we have now the bottom, we have the top, at least a part of the top. Now we're going to make the back side, and of course you can leave the back side open and only do one row of 14 and just leave the back side open, then you make some poles. But I do the back side closed, so I'm going to use 3 rows of 14, 3 rows of 14, and I lay them again flat on the table, the blocks, and I'm just row them on the smallest line of the block. Again, we're going to row them together this way. If you are also someone who loves to make a nativity scene for the Christmas season, and maybe you are really a Christian and you really have, yeah, how you say it, I don't want to say it wrong, so I defend someone. That's not what I want. So maybe you out of when you are Christian and you are placing your nativity scene for that reason. Of course, let me know in the comments what kind of nativity scene you always use. Maybe you have an old-fashioned one, maybe a modern one, maybe you have one for your children. So everyone has their own way of placing a nativity scene. And yes, there you are again. You fell out on me. I don't know what my telephone has the last time, but he is not doing what I want to do. So of course we have now our 3 pieces of 14 blocks. And of course, I was telling you, let me know in the comments down below if, what kind of nativity scene you use. If you are going to decorate with it or maybe you don't. Of course, we're going to place one on the side. We place number 2 of this one on the side. And we place them against each other this way and this way. And again, we're going to carefully fill in the open gaps. And of course, it's a little bit stiff because I waited a little bit too long with my, so always wait a couple of minutes before you're going to work with it and place it inside, or else the glue dries a little bit too fast inside. So I'm going to carefully try to still get it fixed together, because that's what we want. We have to fill in the open gaps, but of course every time squeeze it, just stay with it and just make sure that you fill everything nicely together. Take your time for it. So now we almost have the parts of our nativity scene. We now are going to make the poles for the front side, and I want to double them up because I think one block is a little bit too tricky. So I'm going to do 6 pieces of 2. So again, 6 pieces of 2. We're going to very easy do some glue over here and place it on top. Do some glue in the middle, place it on top. Over here, and this one, and over here, this one. And the last, and then you have 6 blocks of 2. Place them on the side, make sure that you have a straight line, and again this way, over here, press it together, and the last already, and then we're going to give it only a couple of minutes. Don't make the mistake like I did with the back side and wait too long. So I'm going to only give it a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to place 3 over here, 3 here. We do some glue on the top side, over here, and we do here some glue on the top side. And then we roll them very gently together. We do here the same, some glue, and on this one, a little bit more because we want to be sure that it's gluing nicely. And again, we're going to give it some pressure, here the same, over here. And then we're going to let this dry in also at least now, I think a little bit longer, maybe 15 minutes. And then we're going to glue at least the part already for the nativity scene together. So we have waited 15 minutes. We're going to get our bottom. It's the 2 pieces of 14 you glue together. This is the bottom. What we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the underside. And now we're going to glue it at the ending of this first block. So in between the first block, always this way. And I show it to you later in a moment a little bit closer. Don't worry. I just feel with my fingers that I have it in the inside of this one. And of course I'm going to do some glue on this one also. And I place this piece, of course, also in this first block over here, but on the inside, and make sure that you have this block the same wide as this one. So always place it over here, and then we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to be sure that we have it at the ending, and wipe away with your small brush the glue you don't need over here and over here. And you can see better if you are having it on the spot you like. I think this one needs to go a little to this side because I want to have it especially on the same line. So, and I'm going to let this dry in for at least also 15 minutes. So I did wait 15 minutes, and of course what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the back side, that's the 3 rows of 14. I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to do some glue on the underline because we're going to glue it on top of the bottom over here, and we're going to place this one to the back side. Of course I have to feel with my fingers, and this way and over here, and now I'm going to squeeze it and make sure that everything sticks nicely and gently to the back side over here. And this one needs to go back, and this is in between. And now I'm going to give this also 15 minutes dry, not too long, not 15 minutes, I mean a couple of minutes, not 15 minutes, because I don't want to wait too long before I place the roof on top. And then I can do some weights on top, and it dries immediately, everything nicely on top of each other. So that's why I don't wait too long. So I'm going to wipe away the glue on the inside because it's a lot of glue on this side. I'm going to wipe it away. So I'll only wait a couple of minutes. So before we're going to glue the roof on top, of course, I want to show you also the front side so you know how to. And you see it's only a little small piece in between over here and this one, and then we have a little bit kind of an open stable like this. So I'm going to now get my roof, and I'm going to do some glue on the pole of this one, on this one, and of course a small line carefully because it's still not dried. I'm going to do on the top, make sure that each block has a little of the glue. And then we're going to get our roof, and of course we're going to place this to this side, and if everything is correctly, it is nicely fitting. So we hope that it is true, and we're going to feel with our fingers. So we have to move it a little to this side and this side. Just take your time for it to measure out and feel with your finger. That's the most important. Feel with your fingertips where you want to have it, and if it is fitting nicely at your taste. And then later we're going to place some weight on this side, and I do one on this side. This is weight from 1 kilogram. So you see, now I have the weights on top, and I do it a little bit on the outside, and I let it dry in now for at least an hour before we're going to go further with the other steps. So you see, I gave it an hour rest, and this is how he is looking like right now. And I think he looks very nice, not too big and not too small. So you can even decorate it with your own little figurines, and you can change it up any way you like. But we're not finished yet. What we're going to do, I'm going to give it some sides. We are going to place 2 of 3. We do 2 of 2. And then 2 loose blocks. So we are going to do this one. We do flat on the table, and we do the shortest side, place them together. We do here the same, and this one, and place them together. Now we do the 2 of 2 and this one, and then we're going to squeeze them, squeeze it, also squeeze this one, make sure that everything is straight. And of course he wants to pop out, but of course we're going to press it down. We're going to wipe away the glue over here and over here, and now we're going to turn it over and also do the back side, the glue away, because or else we get one big mess. And always, like I told you, go back when you wipe the glue away, always go back and make sure that you have it straight. So again, this one is straight, this one, and this one. So now we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to take one of three, one of two. We do some glue on this one on the ends. We place them over here at the ending and give it some pressure. We get a loose block and we do some glue on this side. And we place this one over here. And we wipe away the glue gently over here. And this is already one. Make sure that you have the underside in a straight line this way, because he has to glue it on the side. Again, we have this one. We do 2 blocks and we place this one. We do a loose block over here and we place this one on the top. So, and feel again, make sure that this is straight and this, oh, you see this one is straight with your fingers, because this will be against the back side. So again, we wipe away the glue and we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. What we're going to do, we place them on the side. We're going to get our stable and we're going to place it down. Place it this way and we are going to get some glue and we do it on this side, over here, and on the underside. And then we're going to easy place it at the outside of our stable. And we do here the same, of course, over here and over here. And we're going to place this also in between, over here. We have to be sure that everything is fitting nicely. And we're going to let this dry in. So this is how now the sides are looking like. So you see, I have a little opening over here and over here. So it is a little different and unique, but of course, I hope you give this one a try. And of course, we are going to paint it right now and you will see how much it will change if you gave it just another paint color. I'm going to go for the brown color, but choose any color you like. So I'm going to start with the inside with the brown color. Maybe I also do later a little mix with a little bit of black with it. So I have to see how this will turn out. So we are going to take our time for painting this. And of course, this paint only gives a light layer. It is not totally covering, because I don't like that if it is totally covered right now. So I'm going to go for a little bit of the lighter look. So I'm going to take my time to paint this. So in the meantime, my little stable is drying. Of course, I have here a little star. I'm going to do in the middle on top of my roof. I'm going to do a star and I'm going to color this one up. I'm going to try with this one because I want to have it in the gold color. So I'm going to go over here and just only the white line I'm going to do in the gold color. But choose any color you like, and you can even make such a star simple from a piece of cardboard. So don't worry, you can find in your stash a piece of cardboard from a box or something else and just make the same. And I'm going to glue this on the front side of my stable. So you see already I did the star with the gold marker, but it didn't work. I didn't like it, so I took my yellow and I did it over here to give it a little bit of the brighter light color. So I'm going to let this dry and then we're going to glue it on top of our nativity scene. So the last step, of course, I'm going to do my star on top of my front side of my stable. And of course then we're going to go and we're going to find the nativity scene. Of course I have to look for that I have it on the right spot. I want to have it over here, and of course I need to glue it, and I'm going to take some time for it because I'm now stuck on my glue, but you don't see that later because I will cut it cut it off. So, and then in a moment you see the quick impression, and you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks easy nativity scene. Of course, this one is also especially for small spaces. So if you have a small space in your home and you like to make this one, I hope you give this one a try. For everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to the description box. There you find the link for the DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day. See you in the next one. Bye.